In a melting pot of clowns and jesters, where masks hide the stains of their gestures, mamas dance, halls whisper sins. The show begins. Oh, the show begins. Morally corrupt, the heathens laugh, paying for pleasure that poison draught. And I'm the worst of the bunch, a degenerate soul, a devil's hunch. Crawl through the ashes, bite the dust in the mirror. It's me I distrust. Puppets on strings, marionettes in the glow, trading virtue for the cheapest show. They bow, they break, they grin, they fake, all for the thrill they take. The crowd cheers loud for this hollow play, but inside me something decays. I'll wear my shame like a crown of rust in this kingdom of chaos. It's me I disgust. Say the cowards, say it loud. Hide behind your twisted crowd. I'll sing my truth and crack my jokes, even if your silence chokes. Say the cowards, say it near. I'm the chaos you hold dear. 'Cause I'm the worst of the bunch, a degenerate soul, a devil's hunch. Crawl through the ashes, bite the dust in the mirror. Oh, god damn, I look good today.
And I just realized this contraption makes me sound like an old-timey newscaster, so I will be doing the rest of my performance like this. Anglerfish, nature's fleshlight. If Jesus' body was bread and his blood was wine, did Jesus have a yeast infection? I once met a member of the bread mafioso. He's toast now. I love objectifying women. I just manipulate them and turn them into things. Like, look at this green flag, isn't it dandy? Unfortunately for me, I have red-green color blindness, so I don't actually know what color this flag is, but I hope it works. It works. It will do. This dame comes up to me and says, "You'll never get a guy like you'll never get a broad like me." And I was like, "I appreciate the moxie, kids, but you got 750 words to tell me why you think you're such hot potatoes." And she looks at me and she says, it's because I got shorter hair than you, see? And I was like, well, so do half the chicks in the cancer ward, and they'll be twice as grateful for the dick. It might actually put them into the great beyond. So, yes, what is in the news today? A young girl has been arrested for brandishing a knife and an axe in self-defense. That's not funny. Why didn't she have a gun? A man has also been arrested for saying, "I love bacon" in an intimidating manner. And as a comedian and someone who walks around with an axe frequently, this puts the jeepers up me, let me tell you. What kind of wisecracks can I make when I'm fear of the old Bill knocking down my door, being like, "Oh, you gotta come with us to the big house, see?" As an Englishman living in Scotland, I've got to be very careful about which American basketball jersey I wear for fear about starting a religious conflict about soccer. So, with that in mind, here is an incredibly cultural and sensitive joke that I've thought out for everybody that will hopefully not get me cancelled, because I don't have a career yet. Ah, you ready? Incredibly culturally sensitive and appropriate joke. Women. 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 Immigrants. 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 Catholics. 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 Pedophiles. 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 Yeah, not that I want to explain my jokes, but yeah, there's some things you just can't forgive. You can forgive a lot of people a lot of things because they're like, oh yeah, it's a different thing. But like pedophiles are the only thing that's like, no. Like you could be in some states in America and have a loving family unit, and then cross two state lines, and suddenly you're an incestuous pedophile. So can you let me know which ones I'm safe at, please? Thank you. And people are like, oh, people are getting arrested for saying I love bacon. No, there's a difference, right? Me and fucking Mohammed here having a conversation, and I'm like, yeah, I like bacon sandwich. Yeah, yeah. But then there's me going, I like bacon, I like bacon, I like bacon. Ooh, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you. It's fucking childish.
So there's a weird line where what is funny becomes a hate crime. And there's the place where I used to live and the place that I have moved to now. I can't tell you this story because defamation and litigiousness, but yeah, there was a guy who got arrested for a Facebook post over like hate crime language, like ugh, bloody Muslims or something. And I was like, yeah, well, that makes sense for the town. Well, that makes sense for that family name as well. And then I find because like again, if I continue this, I am becoming the same kind of cunt as him. But yeah, whew, bloody immigrants in their bloody dinghies risking life and limb to be somewhere else. Just imagine that little raft right there, bobbing up and down. Ugh, gross. But it's alright. I can make it better. Do you know the Captain Pugwash theme song? You know, then they're not immigrants, they're pirates, they're brave explorers on the bonny main. God damn, that's nearly romantic. That is. Speaking of romance, I can't. I can't remember how many of these jokes I've told you, but I'm just going to do the bit. I started dating a princess recently, but she couldn't tell that I peed the bed. Started dispatching wasps to go and round up promiscuous women for me because I've ran out of hornets. I went on a date with this girl, and she was an English teacher, and we had an argument about the correct use of the colon and what exactly a period stops. There was a little bit of a mix-up with the side dishes, though, so I gave her my chips, and she gave me her peas. Rotten. But yeah, I actually found myself empathizing with a woman the other day. I found out Charizard is only 5'6", and I was filled with utter contempt and hatred for the little dwarf bastard. You were supposed to be my big majestic dragon and fly me around the world, and look at you. You're fucking adorable. I'm gonna go and find me a big old dragonite to ride. But I was recently trans for a little bit. Not fully trans. I kept my penis and everything. But I was in Sister Act as a drag queen, and having boobs is a relatable experience. Like angular velocity. Like just having something protrude there when you're like moving your chest. It's wild. And I kept like banging my tits on a door frame, and I did it one time and then. Like the rebound ricocheted and slapped a nun in the face. It was quite fun because, like, for the last scene, like, usually I just got accosted and chased them away, but in this scene, I was like, "Fuck it, rip my titty off and throw it at you." Ugh, the weight of just having two floppy things there made my fucking back hurt. Fucking bra straps digging into my shoulders, and like, I don't know if you like. Usually, when I take a bra off, it's like with some sense of urgency because I'm excited for what's inside. But when that, like, I took my bra off and I have got like 30 seconds to put on an entirely different outfit before I'm a homeless person. And I remember one time, like, someone caught me in a laugh just as I was like taking it off. So I got like, and I just turned around and looked at this guy with like a bra on backward, just like, and like very much looking like a weirdo. Because in that we were doing warm ups, and so one of the things is ha me ha me ha. And I don't know how many Dragon Ball Z fans we have in tonight, but it took every ounce of my restraint not to like fully go because I would have blew in an energy blast through that fucking theater, and there would have been no show for anyone.
Lies, America. More like land of the free to do whatever the government tells you, am I right? Although Canada's not doing too much better. It's gone to shit, and that's true, though. I was out there in Quebec the other day, in Quebec, and I bumped into this other Canadian fella, but he wasn't a proper Canadian like me. I bumped into him and he said, "Hey, Canadian, next to the Donnybrook." I said, "No thanks, bud. I'm not looking to fight anyone today. I'm not celebrating." And then this other Canadian fella comes over, but he wasn't a proper Canadian like me or a proper Canadian like that first fella. Comes over and he says, "Damn, Miss Kawaii, Timitoe Asai." And then me and that first Canadian fella made fun of the second Canadian fella because of where he was from. Me and the second Canadian made fun of the first Canadian fella because of where he was from. And then when those two hosers made fun of me because where I was from, I did not like that one bit and I started swinging. But I realized I was in the wrong. I said sorry. The other guy said désolé. And the other guy said nugly give again. And then we all made fun of Newfoundland, those island hopping bastards.
It reminds me of something me dear old dad used to say to me when I was just a little boy. He said, "Jack, you're a 30-year-old man now, get the fuck out of my house." But now I was just a little boy, I was sitting on his knee looking up at him, and he imparted this fatherly wisdom to me. He said, "Jack, me boy, people are cunts." And I looked up at him with childlike innocence, and I was like, "No, Dad, not everyone's a cunt. You're a motherfucker. And I strongly go and encourage you to call your dad a motherfucker. What's the worst that can happen? The Holocaust." It's already been done, love. But of course, if your dad isn't with us anymore, you could always go down to his grave. You motherfucker. Why'd you die, Daddy? You dumb motherfucker. Now I'm gonna piss on your grave to let the whole world know I was here.
So as a Canadian, I take the vox populi and give it to the vaudeville, and to traverse life's utter inconsistencies, viscous and vulgar verbiage is often vital verbatim. If you don't understand what I just said, let me put it a different way. I ken about it about folks, and I jake about it as I can it, and I kind of have to come to cunt about it, Ken. No? Take what's going on out there, I internalize it, and try and make it funny. But what is humor? What is funny? Well, I'll tell you what. What? So, I am a drug addict. Would anyone like to take a guess which one? Opening bids start at paracetamol. Any advance on paracetamol? No. Tough crowd. That one usually goes better. It's actually pineal gland secretion brought about by anal breathing. So I was doing the downward dog, and it's hard enough getting your friends involved in yoga. But when you're doing the downward dog, you just get out of the shower, and a ray of sunlight just like breaks through the clouds and right onto your bunghole, and you get charged up with the liquid energy of the universe and get on a little cleaning spree. You can't be telling people that at work. It gets weird and uncomfortable. You get called into HR like, "Jack, no one wants to hear about how your erection knocked over your lamp." I'm like, right,
That whole conversation started because Rebecca was telling me she was wearing a vibrating butt plug on shift. Well, Rebecca is a sex worker, and you will not slut shame her. I don't actually like the term sex worker. I much more prefer the term romantic mercenary because it makes me seem cool. Less like a dirty whore. Like I couldn't get on OnlyFans because it would have fucked up my immigration status, like not being able to get a job in America because you're a whore, and then coming and seeing the OnlyFans comedians at the Edinburgh Fringe. And my experience of the OnlyFans comedians was a girl running on stage like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna sniff some poppers. Does anyone want any poppers? Do you want some pop? I'm gonna sniff some more poppers. There's some poppers. Okay, bye." And like, get to fuck, you nasty skank. Like, fuck off. Like, just really fuck off. Like, fuck off. I don't have anything funny to say to this because my piss is boiled.
But fortunately, my piss was unboiled by the sweet validation of a professional. Because I bumped into Larry Dean, and like he's a famous comedian up here. I am just starting out, but somehow I feel valid enough to be like, "Hi, coworker, would you like to go and get coffee and talk about work?" But I was like trying to like respect someone who was like, "Oh my god, you could like actually change my life with just that." So I like being respectful. I was like, "Can I tell you a joke? I turned a pub landlord into a sheep the other day. He burned me. What is a funnier number? 8,085 or 9/11?" And because of those two, it was like, "Oh yeah, two good jokes. Yeah, hope to see you around someday." But as he was walking away, I wanted to be like, "Oh, Larry, Larry, can you please help me? There's a place that finds me unsuitable. There's a place that gags me and drags me off stage for the fear the crowd is going to go, and I don't know what to do with that, Larry. Can you please help me?" Yeah, like I tried to book a gig at a theatre, and this is how it went. We've had an update in policy, and we can't accommodate you at this time. Flash forward 6 months. Actually, the committee found you unsuitable, but you can still privately rent it. I said it to this guy, and I turned to the guy next to me. I said, "Hey, you look like a man who likes foreign language music. Would you like to buy a CD?" And then this man said, "Get out my pub." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Because I was trying to maintain professional composure, but this guy was being a douche. So I went into another pub because it was like a pub. It was a town-wide festival. So I went into another pub and sang Bohemian Rhapsody, Jack Capella style, and like got my props in there. And despite everyone like being like, "Yeah, that was amazing," I was like, "These motherfuckers over there," and I defiantly sang one of my songs, which like the video I got really encapsulates the song, but it also makes me look a bit cuckoo. So yeah, oh, fuck. Get this out. Sun is rising on a new day, shining, fighting for another reason to survive. All the toil and all the strife, you face it with a grin. Your destiny is wrecked at sea, you're never gonna win. Then you feel it start from within. Wake up, hear the drums of liberation. Heartbeat to the rhythm of your freedom, you know. If you wanna chase your dreams, chart a course, do what it takes. Never lose your motivation, beat the drums of liberation. Do it with a way ho, way ho. Obstacles are fun, way ho, way ho. Let your spirit run wild, way ho, way ho. Never gonna stop until you reach the sun. Wake up, hear the drums of liberation. Heartbeat to the rhythm of your freedom, you know. If you wanna chase your dreams, chart a course, do what it takes. Never lose your motivation, beat your drums of liberation. 'Cause after all is said and done, you'll end up a skeleton. So spread your tail from dawn to dusk upon these foamy seas.
Sail with your friends till the bitter end. Tell their story while they're gone. Just like bottles, the drumbeat can only last so long. So close your eyes and dream of skies when dawn reaches the horizon. Wake up, hear the drums of liberation. Heartbeat to the rhythm of your freedom, you know. If you wanna chase your dreams, chart a course, do what it takes. Never lose your motivation, beat the drums of liberation. So what joke did I say that was so unsuitable? Bear with me, I'm going to explain what religion is really quick. So, if Jesus' body was bread and his blood was wine, did Jesus have a yeast infection? I've recently converted to both Judaism and Islam. The kosher and the haram mean the pigs will never fucking touch me. Judaism and Mormonism sound like, it's nicer over there. Christianity sounds like, forgive them. Also, there's 18 versions of me, and all the other ones are wrong, especially that one. That one is very wrong. Also, remember how I said you couldn't eat pork? I was fibbing. You could totally eat pork, but just not on a Friday. Islam sounds like, hey yo, these motherfuckers tried to kill me. And then Vikings sound like, kill them all. Jesus and Muhammad were kind of like Thomas Becket. Person A and person B had an ethical disagreement. Person B had a gripe with person C, and then persons D, E, and F got involved, and then chaos ensued. And somewhere far, far across the world, the Sea People invaded and caused the Bronze Age collapse, and suddenly everyone's hungry. So I developed a theory. It's called the Circle of Cuntery. It doesn't matter how far on the left or the right you go, you just become the same cunt eventually. It's actually called horseshoe theory, but fuck that, my name sounds cooler. So it's like, J.K. Rowling is a TERF. No, I'm not going to date you, you're bisexual, that's gay. Donald Trump is a threat to free speech. We must cancel him from talking immediately. I actually made that before someone tried to shoot him. What's that? Oh, sorry. Oh, we Jews are the most discriminated against people in the world. What's that? You have a Kanashi? Get away from me, you fucking animal. So for those of you who don't know what a fallacy is, it is an ocean of dicks, which is a pretty apt metaphor for what it's like talking to people. There's like little conversational loopholes that you can fall into, like if I can't get the lid off this here drinks bottle, it's because I didn't want the drink's wank. You've got the slippery slope fallacy, which sounds like, no, we're not going to get a dog because there'll be a slippery slope till there's dog piss on the carpet. And I'm like, Dad, you drank 43 beers last night and pissed on the carpet anyway. Where's me fucking dog? My dad didn't actually piss the floor. It was the dog. At least that's what I told him. You've got the no true Scotsman fallacy, which sounds like, no true Scotsman would date an Englishman after what he's done to us. No true Irishman would date an Englishman after what he's done to us. No true Welshman wouldn't fuck a sheep. And then you've got Teque Quo, which sounds like the USA had Nazi scientists to go to the moon, therefore the USA was instrumental in the Holocaust. Yeah. And we've got the classic strawman fallacy that no matter how well constructed my argument is, you can override it by calling me a retard. You've got to be really careful with jokes. Like the Flat Earth Society started out as a joke, and now they've got members all around the globe. Right then. So, for those of you who don't know what Sweet Baby Inc. is, it is a games consultancy company who focus on inclusivity and diversity by eradicating the white man from game spaces and purging the detractors. Now, I'm all for equality and everyone getting a fair shout, but when the sign reads "Kill all men," fucking try me. I've got a death wish. So yes, there's a cis gendered white man and has been beaten up and is badly struggling, where he comes across an LGBTQ pride parade. And he sees them and it's like, oh, fantastic. Like, love and toleration. I'm safe. But he walks up to 3 members of Sweet Baby Inc. who see him walking up and like, ugh, colonizing oppressor. I hope he doesn't talk to us. Yeah, he probably deserved it. Yeah, white people are part of the problem. We should kill him. And he walks up to these pronouns. It was like, oh, hello, pronouns. I've been beaten up and I'm quite badly struggling. Could you help me? And one of them says, what fucking problems have you got? White man, check your privilege. Yeah, colonizing oppressor, you're part of the problem. Yeah, N-word, get out of our space before I fucking kill you. And then the guy goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, those two things, they were just nasty. But that's just oppressive and threatening. And then they say, we don't care, you're not welcome in the neighborhood. And then the guy's like, you know, fuck this. Books it home. Goes home and tells his wife, and she immediately loses all respect for him for losing 2 fights in one day. He goes to work the next day and his boss pulls him in. And I was like, what's this video I've been seeing on social media that you got in an altercation with some trans people? We can't be having that as a company reflection. We're going to have to let you go. Goes home and tells his wife, who kicks him out for being a no-good deadbeat piece of shit. And he's there just huddling on the street, shaking and shivering in his blankets when a raggedy Albanian man walks across in front of him, sees him there. He's like, reaches in his pocket. And the man jumps up like, oh, wow. I was having a shit time, but I feel fantastic. What did you just give me, mister? And the guy looks at him and is like, it was crack. The Good Samaritan 2025.
Looks like I gotta commit seppuku by bukkake for that little fuck up. Obviously, I didn't like just launch into that, but like I hadn't done many gigs at that point. I still haven't done crowd work because again, it's this or I get 5 minutes at Monkey Barrel, and it's not enough time. But yeah, I tried to like smush these two jokes. Well, I tried to smush those two jokes together, and then it was this joke as like the precursor. But I was sucking some dude's dick the other day, and he just came all over my top. Fortunately, my washing machine has a setting for fruit stains. I actually called him Tomato because despite being a fruit, he was also in a wheelchair. Charity worker. So Dr. Jordan Peterson could get a lot. Like, he's a bit of an idiot because just obstinate hostility. Like, obviously, like having someone swap from a man to a woman is a bit of a thing. Like, I knew a girl who was keeping her penis. I'm not going to go into that because, yeah, it's her choice. Godspeed. God bless her. But yeah, it's kind of like if I called him Nurse Peterson, and then he was going, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a professor, I'm not a nurse, damn it. And I'm like, got written down here that you're a nurse, mate, so fucking deal with it. And then just because of that initial, like, oh, hello, Nurse Peterson, it's like, you don't want to deal with that prick. And then just imagine, like, for at least 5 years, you've had some random fuck who's got a different face being like, ugh, you like sodomy. And then, like, every interaction you've got with people who aren't your people, it's just like, is he one of them? So, yeah, what you call a Mexican lady who's transitioned into being a Mexican man? A chica? No. It sounds bad until you learn that Chicano is actually a racial identity, and correctly gendered at that. If it was a Mexican man going to a Mexican woman, it'd be a chica. Nah.
I was out there in Tanganyika. For those of you who don't know where it is, it's right there next to Zanzibar. Nowadays, of course, it's called Tanzania, but I refuse to acknowledge those colonialistic fucks. But yes, I was out there in Tanganyika, and I made quite a frightful discovery, what? They have fast food over there. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to catch a chicken, but fuck, they are quick. So I've been looking up philosophy because I hate my brain myself and I want it to be better. And I've been looking up some Jungian shadow work. So apparently, me being nice, kind, tolerant, and friendly is a big pile of shit. And all of the emotions that I have been repressing are the ones that I should have been letting out. Because, you know, when someone just takes the piss and you're just like, yes, it's okay. I'll accept your apology. And then they keep taking the piss and you're just like, yes, that's fine. You're an asshole, but I'll turn the other cheek. And then eventually, like, at what point do you stop forgiving them and be like, you're a fucking prick and I want to deck you? But then, suddenly I'm aggressive. Ooh. So yeah, it's less funny because life isn't funny, really. We've got Kafka who says life's fucking hilarious. Absurdism and defiance in the face of it all. And then we've got Nietzsche. Nietzsche's got this societal model. So there's a bunch of type of people. You've got camels, you've got lions, you've got dragons, and you've got the people who aren't even camels. So like camel behavior is like putting your shopping trolley back. Like you don't technically have to put your shopping trolley back at the end of your shop, but it's nice and polite. You know, it's a societal expectation. And then you've got lions who are like, you know what? I'm going to take my shopping trolley home.
And I'm going to change this analogy from a shopping trolley.
And then you've got dragons. Dragons are like, hey, I'm going to put this egg on this pedestal. None of you fucking touch the egg. And then the camels will go, yep, I'm not touch the egg. The people who aren't camels will probably try and touch the egg and get eaten. And then the lion will be like, hang on, dragon. I kind of want that fucking egg. And your reasons are fucking bullshit. I am going to have that egg. And then the lion and the dragon fight over the egg. But then you've got the baby. Now the dragon has put the egg on the pedestal and is like, nobody touch the egg. But the baby is a baby and it doesn't understand language, so it just kind of crawls in going, and it starts jostling the pedal and the dragon's like, baby, stop, baby, stop. Because like the baby doesn't know what it's doing and you can't really punish a baby for its innocence.
So I've hatched a plan to rob a bank. I'm just going to dress up in a nappy, crawl around shitting myself until someone pays me money. And I know I could do that on OnlyFans from the comfort of my own home, but I like the face-to-face interaction and looking at the fear in people's eyes when I go, smell it.
Polyamory and BDSM. Traumatized by it, not touching it. Viking reenactments where I recreationally axe murder people. I can't talk about it, litigious reasons. But what I can tell you is the only time I've ever had a performance stopped mid-performance is when I was singing because he was scared the crowd was going to go. I mean, all I was going to say is, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for us to murder each other? Which is, well, because like, I've literally said the words, do you want to see me kill this guy? And the crowd went, yay! And then I went, well, that's illegal, but we're going to try anyway. And the crowd laughed because I'm hilarious. But yeah, go check out Eric Rushton. This is a thing, like, don't be a hater. Form your own opinions. He is one of the most oppressive and offensive wet wipes that I have ever met. Like, polyamory is morally reprehensible, isn't it? Will you agree with me? Polyamory is morally reprehensible. Polyamory is morally reprehensible. You agree with me, sir? Oh, is this a sword? I'm not confident in my material. I'm confiscating this. Like, I keep weapons in multiple rooms in my house. I'm polyamorous. Like, and I get, there's a lot of nuance to like someone bringing a sword to a show. I can understand why that might be scary, but have you got a secondary? Do you want to fight on stage for everyone's entertainment? Is literally what I do for fun. Like, So with that in mind, special shout out to MC Hammersmith. This is all love and respect. You're confrontationally avoidant, and I kind of enjoy it, so the joke doctor is in, and I'm here for your disappointment, so sit back while Jack attacks the vernacular. Patch Adams with an axe, slashes your butt, cracks your back, and I'd kill your dad, but you're a bastard. Your shoes are tacky, your nose is flappy, and your sexual predilection is to get dressed up in a nappy, suckling cock milk from a man you call daddy. I linked your mum, though, because I heard she was a baddie, and no, she wasn't a vicious bitch from hell's darkest pits and recesses. She kind of just laid there, like a pillow princess. Still, though, I tapped the gash and I smashed it, used it, and you stood there with your camera getting Louis through it. You order at Burger King and you get an anxious stammer. Your whole persona's fraudulent. Have you ever even smithed a hammer? You went to school to get a chartered snitching degree, and your prolapsed arsehole's red like a doomed Xbox 360. I'm a magic man, and you drain the life from the room. When I zip zaps up, I'll put you in the fucking tomb. Not the cemetery brothel, because that would be fun. Bitch, you are in my crosshairs, do not think you can run. Ain't no way in hell that you can battle me. Your chicken wiry frame, it's atrophied. I step in your direction, and you end up as a casualty. Bars are so savage, like I'm drinking in Liverpool. I'll wear a clown nose and a red wig and make you look like a bigger fool. All the words I've said, you might sue me for liable, but every rhythm that I'm spitting's categorically deniable. Kurt Cobain needed a hero. You gave him heroin. Jerry and Kate went out for dinner. You stole Madeline, shot JFK and faked the moon landing. Your Tory propaganda is truly outstanding. Gangster rapper though, you need a rebranding. Get the fire and the poker and expose your raw arse. You might be a posh teacher, but I'ma show you true class in what it means to be a gangster player, lyrical joker. And I only know that your girlfriend's kinky because she told me that you don't choke her. I'm a lion, you're a weed, I'ma roll you and smoke you. Now, go out and do your duty when you tour this great nation and take things too far with your autoerotic asphyxiation. I'm punching above my station. MC Hammersmith is a postcode. Jakistan, it's a nation. List my war crimes, condemn them, they're drastic. But please tell me what it feels like to be verbally murdered by a spastic. Blah, blah, blah. If this is true, what else is true? Your nose is so big, you look like a kike Jew. And if that makes you Jewish, I guess I'm Palestinian. Keep at it 100 years and neither side is gonna win again. Really, what's the point? Why don't we end this battle and go and smoke a joint? I think we could be mates, but you'll never step foot on a council estate. You run from the ghettos, you hide from the schemes, content in your life, you don't got any dreams. And I know I sound aggressive and a little bit of a jerk, but this could have all been avoided if you'd have just given me homework. You wouldn't be dealing with this hater. Now go home and fuck your Maris Piper fleshlight, you dictator. So yeah, if you've got any thoughts, opinions, comments on that past half hour, stick them up your ass. Nah, fucking go for them. Like, need commentary to grow. Like, yeah. But I will now leave you on the very first joke that I ever learned. Knock, knock. Oh, come on now. Knock, knock. I eat sheep. Who the fuck are you talking to? Are you alone in a room right now? Seriously, what the fuck are you doing with your life?